eye? Oh, that's right. You see, back in my day, you didn't have to worry about white kids playing soccer on your fields because there was something known as segregation. With the community meeting on the horizon, both parties reached out to friends, neighbors, knowing the encounter may become turbulent. Commissioner Jana Lucas readied herself. She requested the service of the city's most feared soldier. Some say without Blood Poet's reputation, the negotiations would not be possible.
Done there to make it a park, and one of our attendees here this evening, Mr. George Spinach,
you slide down a little bit?
History, and asked him to share that momentarily.
When we founded St. Andrew's Soccer Club 18 months ago, it wasn't because we needed another sports program in Bay County. I think we all know we got a lot of those. It wasn't because families needed a home, it was because families needed a home, a place rooted in community, accessibility, belonging, and hope. A place where kids could run and grow, laugh close to where they live, not miles away behind gates or out of financial reach. Long before even that happened, long before we had our first practice at St. Andrew's Soccer Club, I used to pass by Robert and Mary Cain every evening on the way to see my future wife, and most nights the field sat quiet. The lights were off, the grass was growing tall, not all nights, but a lot of them, without many souls surrounding. There was always one thing that stopped me though. There was a single soccer ball on the field. And it was almost symbolic in a way as I would drive home, a reminder that that place still had purpose. It still had a life. It still had something to give us.
So Cameron carries on for a little while, making an emotioned plea to the people for a better tomorrow. Next up, a guy I didn't expect to see.
My name is Charlie Corum. I'm not a resident of the Hill, obviously, but I do have a business right down the street from it. I have a lot of friends here.
Okay, so this guy I do know from my childhood. This is Mr. Charlie Corum, and he owns a chain of these breakfast restaurants that have the best breakfast food known as a heavenly hash, which is hash browns, ham, peppers, cheese, all piled up with some gravy on top. It's delicious.
I am personally opposed to any lease of city parks for anything. I mean, I support soccer, especially kids sports. I'm all for that. But I think with this park, the historical significance of this park would preclude leasing that out like that. I think the city needs to man up. They need to come in here and they need to do what they said they were going to do after the hurricane. They need to restore that park. And they need to do it as soon as they can.
Amen.
My name is Nicholas Williams. I'm CEO and President of Glenwood Revitalization Committee and also a community activist. No, I do not live on the Hill, but I have what I consider as a black woman, a vested interest in what takes place in this community. Having said that, I read the original one. The only thing you've done here is take out the word exclusive. And if anybody follows my Toodle Doodles, you would have seen what I had to say about this. Now, he's done a very good job with platitudes, etc., telling you what the soccer club can and will do. I'm not going to do a global. How much time do I have?
1 minute.
1 minute. Go over to Joe Chapman Park. Do the same thing at Joe Chapman Park that you want to do over here on the Hill. It's open, more land, and the main thing there, reseed whatever you wish to do with the field, and don't take this away from our community. Don't take the historicalness of Oak Grove, Robert Mary Cain Park away from the community. It's I call it, number one, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but you're being land robbers. The barons of old age are taking what is stealing. You use scripture, and as I told you,
in a church, I'm going to behave.
Exodus, in the book of Exodus, it says the 10 Commandments. thou shalt not steal. And effectively, that is what the St. Andrews Soccer Club will be doing if they're given Oak Grove Field. Furthermore, it should have never been on the City Commission agenda.
I respect everybody who's coming in today. I grew up in that park playing baseball, football, and everybody in my era, we don't play soccer in our community. If you take away this field for the community, it'll take away whatever little trust it was. You know, it's like, what are we gonna give our kids in our community? If this was a suburban community, I would probably agree with this plan, but this is not a suburban community, and the city has to give our community something too.
Everyone, my name is Michelle Bryant, and while I am not a resident of the Hill, I love the Hills, and as the VP of Glenwood Revitalization Project, as well as the founder of PC Senior Living Group, we are opposed to this particular proposal simply because of the fact that, as Chairman Strong just mentioned, there were so many promises made for this park to be upgraded: a playground, a baseball field, basketball courts. I will say we want every kid to have somewhere to play, soccer, all kind of sports. But in addition to that, we want at that park what was not only promised, but what was there before. We've had back to school bashes there, we've had movie nights there, we've had all kind of events. And in partnership with that apartment that's down the street, those kids do not have a playground, they don't have anywhere to play. Soccer would be a great addition if that's something they're interested in. But most of those kids, what they're looking for is football and basketball. And so if we're going to hear the community, if we're going to work together, we have to be respectful of not only the historical nature of this particular park, but also the needs of those who actually live in the park area. So that's all I would like to say, and I wish everyone a good evening.
This is Robert Cain Jr., the son of Robert and Mary Cain.
It's for the kids, and it needs to be a multiple event park. And I have some questions that I don't know who authorized for just be for soccer. You know, it's for the kids. It needs to be a multiple for all the children, for different events, like we're saying, and mostly for the Hill community, for the kids that are in the project, the low-level kids. And I just want to know, who the proceeds going to. If so, maybe they could have a scholarship fund for my mom and dad. And that's a real big part for the Hill community. And we just want to be involved. And hopefully it's not just for soccer.
You don't need soccer there, period.
Good evening. My name is Latrinia Paisley. Now, I'm not going to say we don't play soccer. Coach Peters knows that I'm a soccer mom. My daughter played soccer from the time she was 4 till she got a concussion in the 12th grade, her last year of playing soccer. She even had a soccer scholarship. We love soccer in my family. My niece plays soccer. My nephew plays soccer. We are a soccer family. But we traveled to different parks, Coach Peters can tell you. We went to different places. We found different spots to play soccer. We didn't take over a field or someone's community to go play soccer.
And this is another historical fact. The call sign for Tetuano Air Force Base is Oak Grove. That call sign was chosen because of Oak Grove School.
Well, that would be interesting because that's what's up to debate.
Not really.
Yes.
This gentleman made a terrible mistake. He's kind of thinking practically. He's assuming it's just a question of how much usage the field can handle.
I'm a resident on Lincoln Avenue on the Hill. I'm from Louisiana Avenue back over in Glenwood, my Foxwood. And Mr. Cain welcomed me on his street and my family. And Bob is my barber.
This gentleman, between us, okay, I think this gentleman was showing his hand a little bit. I don't think he cares as much about the park as he does just about supporting his community, which there's nothing wrong with that.
So it's a family thing.
Yes, yes.
My current neighbor right across from me, Mrs. Gaynor, they were my neighbors back in Glenwood. Mm-hmm. And when I came, she found out that I was moving over here. She was so happy. And so, like I said, it's a family. Well, it's a family. So I oppose this. So thank you.
My name is Andre Smith, and I really just came here to bring my father to this meeting, but I felt compelled to address you all because I've coached soccer for many years in this town. I don't live in this area, but I've coached youth soccer. I coached a couple of senior amateur men's team, and finding the field has always been a struggle when you are coaching soccer. We would look at Cain Griffin before they rebuilt it in Lynn Haven. There used to be a space behind Gold Coast Community College that we used to play soccer. And they built over that, so we had to find somewhere else to play. For me, and as my father was saying, like, soccer is in our blood. My brother really was the first person to get a scholarship in soccer in Bay County back in '79, played Division I. There wasn't even soccer in high school there, so you figure, like, how did he do that? Because we came from England, we played soccer. We had a cousin play for Everton. So when I say, like, this is what we do, we love soccer. So for me, the issue isn't even about the level of the game, it's whether or not the city honors the promise. And also the other side, knowing that there are other places that are alternatives. To me, in my experience, that's just the nature of what comes with being a soccer enthusiast in a place that doesn't really support soccer like they support baseball and football and other sports.
Good evening, my name is Larry Watson, I'm 12 years old, and I play for soccer at St. Andrews.
Really, Cameron? You're gonna roll the kids out? I get it, Brenda Michelle, I get it, all right? Who cares what the kids gotta say? I mean, they're cute, that's why I can't cut any of their footage.
When I first joined the club, I just wanted to kick a ball and have fun, but I've learned how to listen and communicate. I've learned that effort matters even when things are hard. When I'm tired or my legs are sore, I've learned how to bounce back after a rough loss and win a championship. Soccer is also a huge outlet for my energy and helps me stay focused with my ADHD. Soccer has taught me teamwork, leadership, sportsmanship, and I've learned respect for my coaches, referees, the other teams, and our fields. And I've learned to set goals and work towards them at one practice at a time. Being part of St. Andrews keeps me active, focused, and surrounded by positive role models. My friends and I feel safe and welcome there. It's a big part of who I am and who I'm becoming. Thank you to the city for supporting our organization, and thank you to those in the surrounding community who have supported us. We have found a home here at Robert and Mary King Field. So today I'm asking the city to continue supporting our program.
My name is Mason Model, and I've learned from St. Andrews Soccer Club. The coaches are tough on us, but they make us learn, and they teach us if we fail a game, we keep on trying, and we don't give up.
We used to change it through today because the city is asking to Commissioner Jensen to get the city, get the park to be what it's supposed to be.
Michelle.
This really has nothing to do with the sportsmanship. It's wonderful that the children are speaking as to what soccer does for them. It's great. Any athletic endeavor.
We don't need to comment on a young individual who just stood up breaking this.
So here the parents or the guardians of the children that had just presented may have been a little preemptive to jump in.
Yeah, where did that come from?
This is an opportunity. She has had her opportunity to speak. I will not allow that to happen with our children.
So she has not
See, that's the problem right there.
That's the problem. He is the problem. She didn't say nothing about a child.
Okay.
She spoke the problem. She was going for it, that's for sure.
Yeah, she was going for it.
So, you're going to
I'm so glad we're in a church.
and be respectful.
Thank you.
Okay? That's all we're doing here tonight.
Have I been disrespectful?
At this point, you cut her off.
Thank you. If you will. Thank you. Okay, you'll complete your comments. We'll
She's
move on.
allowed a second opportunity to speak.
I asked, no one came forward. So
You didn't.
Oh my God.
You gave an entire agenda item to Hill residents, and you are now on to the next agenda item, which is the others
and you asked your
involved.
speaker, I looked at you, I said, anyone
I would like to
else?
speak.
We have plenty of parents who are wanting to speak.
And I would like to speak again.
We've got
Exactly.
that opportunity. And again, reiterate, we're not going to, at any point, diminish.
Sir, if you-
How did he take lead of this conversation?
We're gonna allow her to complete her thought.
We don't
We're gonna move on.
It's that privilege.
As a teacher, I have seen where sportsmanship, etc., has grown children in many, many areas. As a student, I have seen the same thing. That is not the issue here. The issue here is, should St. Andrew's Soccer Club be permitted by the city to lease this park? That is the issue, not what the benefit is to the students. I said it before I sat down before. Mr. We got your point. Okay, but there's a park over off of Rollins Avenue, Joe Chapman Park. Yes. That can be used.
You said
Yes,
that.
we got it. I said, but stop interrupting me. You all are being very rude.
No home training.
Let me speak.
Here you go.
Ms. Williams, I would like to
No
talk.
home training.
So
That's all.
the point that I'm missing here is, couldn't there be a coexistence? I mean, everybody can hear me. Couldn't the soccer club coexist with the activities? And couldn't there be a plan of coexistence?
So I think that could be, but what has been presented is what we're responding to. So you made the,
Just one comment.
Okay.
Mr. Cameron has presented 600 hours, I think, a year. So that is 10%, I believe, in this calculation. So the other 90% could be the other coexistence, the other part.
They can do the same thing at Chapman Park.
And that's why I wanted the field day on the other activities on the field. What is that activity that should
I'm getting ready to be.
And I think that should be evaluated.
yes, and I believe you have received that from the city, have you not? The list, okay. It's been prepared, Cassian.
I've had a public record request in for that, so I think that is important because that is the data that is opposing the other usage.
All right. But this is an opportunity this evening for us to hear varying perspectives, respectfully. And that's what we're doing.
So my name is Steve Boswell. I'm an assistant coach. I help out with the Little Saints program, which, as mentioned, a lot of the kids are a part of, as well as open play. I also have 3 sons that participate in the club.
I think it is actually imperative to kind of talk about my background because we're talking about community. Miss Brenda may not recognize me, but I know I recognize her.
I do recognize you, dear.
We went to church together growing up. I've been a stone's throw distance away from this park, walking distance to this park. Like Cameron said, he used to drive by it every night when he would come to see me. So when we talk about community, I definitely feel like I am a part of this community. I've been in Panama City since I was 3 years old. Robert and Mary Cain Park, it has had a history. No one's trying to neglect that history. No one's trying to tear that history down. And in fact, we really want to elevate it. We want to work together. And if you look on the pamphlet, the plans, nothing's concrete. It starts with 1 field. So there's 7 undeveloped acres back there. So we can start here where we build it together as a community, and then it grows. And then there's a walking path, and then there's basketball courts. And then, because there's so much that can be grown, but we have to start with step 1. Step 1 is make this field better for all. Again, we want the community to come out. We want kids to come play. We are not saying no one's welcome. The opposite. We want more people to enjoy it. We want the structure and the field to be a safer place where more people do come out. And then if there's a second field, a third field, football starts going in, or a basketball court comes. But you have to start with where we're at. And right now, the city does use it as a field. So what can we do to make that better? What can we do to progress? And we think that y'all have been waiting for the city to act for years. Y'all all said that. So what can we do now? With a private-public partnership, we can actually act now and not wait for the city to do something that right now it's saying it doesn't have the means to do.
Good evening to everybody. Just simply want to say that I am not a resident of the Hill. I have lived in this community for a while after I became an adult, but I didn't grow up on the Hill. But good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Cain.
Yeah. And I wanted to say thank you.
Guys, personal space, all right? Personal space, everybody. Everybody say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Fucking tricked you.
God for Mr. Robert Cain and for Miss Mary Cain. I think we stand with the residents of the Hill. We certainly want to make sure that the community gets what is needed. We've had to fight for everything. I've been here all of my life. Everything that we've got for our community, we had to literally advocate and fight for. We had to fight for Oscar Patterson. We had to fight for the new MLK Center. Everything that we've got, we always had to fight for it.
There's a history here, folks. And Chandler, good to see you too. Although you and I a little bit disagree on this one because, you know, the U.S. men's national team is full of African Americans. All right? Isn't it, Miss Payne? It sure is. Okay? So if you look around, it's really not so much about black or white or who plays this sport or who plays that sport, although there is a lot of history in this room. There's a lot of disinvestment in the Hill. And so when you say the word exclusive, it just hit a nerve with a lot of people.
Yes, it did.
And so we got to figure out how to get past that. How much money's in this budget for fixing this field up at all? Probably zero.
That's not the point.
So we're going to see another year of disinvestment, right? Unless we start somewhere.
Well, there's a couple of issues that haven't been addressed. So, sir, when you asked about the numbers of hours used, it's always locked. I live less than 100 yards, a good 9-iron or pitching wedge from the pit. It's always locked. He has renters that can't go walking because it's always locked.
For all these years since Hurricane Michael?
Sir,
that was my question to the city.
Well, I have the history. We want a pavilion. We want some toe-tapping music, okay? And we all know if you get an itch, you're going to take a mile. And that's what we're fighting for, that itch. Today, I'm here to present to my uncle the other side that will bear his name. The Clay County Historical Society has determined that Oak Grove Field is historical. Okay.
Well, just a little closer question, Mr. Commissioner. With that being said, historical that just came out, is there any way the city can start pursuing historical dollars to help go with that historical element?
That's a good question. Very good, Terry.
We have to invest in our community. We have carpenters. We have people who can do a lot of stuff. Not depend on the city to do for us what we can do for ourselves. And that's what we got to do. We got to take our communities back. Don't give it away. It's time out for it. We can share with everybody, but you can't have it.
After hearing from both sides, Commissioner Lucas proposed a way to move forward.
What I've asked tonight is that those who represent the interests of the Hill, those who represent the soccer club, to work with me in a small committee to look at a way forward in terms of a win-win for the soccer club and a win-win for the community.
After the event, the Glenwood community, they had a lot to say. I worked for the city for years and watched the favoritism play out across multiple departments to a level of corruption that continuously results in economic disparities and lack in equitability in terms of this is set too fast. Slow the scroll down. Who set the scroll to this speed? I can't read all of this. Okay, well, here's what's important. That's why it immediately went to the commission to be voted on, because a bunch of self-important, well-off folks colluded and determined what they could get away with. And the faster and quieter they make it happen, the better. Unfortunately for them, and with no thanks to our commissioner for informing and engaging her constituents on relevant issues coming before the commission, activists who care about the community spoke up. It's funny how the city has all the money in the world for primarily, it looks like little white guy emoji neighborhoods, affluent areas, and even the damn dogs. But when it comes to lower income neighborhoods or neighborhoods that have mixed demographics, there's no money, the pot is empty. Through a complicated and controversial process known as enhanced pixel reimagining, I was able to recreate the people that lived in these neighborhoods. Take a look.
This is not about the soccer club, okay? The soccer club actually helped the community by bringing this to light. So it's not about the soccer club. It's not about the crazy soccer parents that was at the meeting last night and their very disrespectful owner. It's about something bigger than that. I don't have all the names, and I'm going to try to go through this, ladies and gentlemen. Have a level of decorum and respect. But this individual had no respect, not for Commissioner Lucas and not for people in the room. Now, I want to address these two idiots that sat behind me. The entire time in this meeting, they were just a yak. I would lean over to my cousin and say something in his ear, and I'm sure they probably heard it. But they just kept conversing and saying negative things, flip mouth, smart mouth. And I really didn't put them in attention. Again, they're non-factors. Who are these people, right? I can't remember the exact comment that I made, but it made obvious to what they were saying was directed to me. And of course, you know me. If you got something to say to me, what are you saying? What are you trying to say? We can have this conversation. They were totally disrespectful. And as my cousin said, they would sit here in this meeting to do that exact thing. They wanted to agitate people in the community at this meeting because they didn't bring anything of value. They didn't bring any content to this meeting. Be very clear. These two idiots didn't say one word throughout. Exactly, Stephanie. No home training. Are you serious? They were so very disrespectful. They didn't bring anything of value to the meeting. And it further proved that they were there just to agitate. So the kids really wasn't necessary. It was a nice touch, a nice feel good, right? But it had nothing to do with what was at hand. So while bringing nothing of value, while being disrespectful to the city commissioner, in my opinion, nothing was resolved. We had a lot of really great information that was shared, and there should have been some level of resolution at the end of that meeting. And lastly, where's the allocated dollars for this park to the general fund? But in this meeting last night, you kept hearing, oh, you can't depend on the city, the money, the city misrepresented, the city didn't do what they're supposed to do. But no one said this is what the city is going to do. And that was so disheartening. Again, that owner of the soccer club and several of their parents, they were very disrespectful to Commissioner Lucas. As you guys know, I have no ill will against Commissioner Lucas. The only thing that she and I have is we just disagree on a lot of the way how she votes, and we disagree on how things could progressively move our community forward. But outside of that, I have mad respect for her. She's the representative for Ward 2. And the way that this gentleman disrespected her really got my skin boiling, because at the end of the day, you can like her or dislike her. You should, out of the minimum, respect her in her position. And the way he cut her off, the way he was disrespectful to her, Brenda, and the community, the meeting should have ended right then and there, because they came in there with privilege and attitude. And when they come with privilege and attitude, there's nothing you can do but shame that devil, which is tell thee to get the fuck out.
Now, I like to consider myself fairly cultured, as you can tell. So I know for 100% fact cannot be racist. It is clear that Brenda and Michelle care very much about their tight-knit community. I just hope that they're able to see that they have a community outside of the tight-knit one that they associate themselves with. Speaking on behalf of my friend that I have known for almost 20 years, I can say that Cameron and Kelly Fuqua, I don't think they're out to get you.